across another grisly murder scene last night.
Wait, I want to hear that.
The walls covered in satanic symbols.
Another gruesome, ritualistic murder claimed the lives of 6 people last night following a heavy metal concert that local religious groups were protesting.
This is supposed to scare other people, not us.
So you ready for Soldiers of Satan?
All right, let's go.
Cheers to a night that we're going to remember for years to come.
Here, here.
My brothers and sisters, the evil that is heavy metal rock music is unwavering in its goal to corrupt our children's souls.
Girls, be careful now. There's a lot of evil out there.
You don't think we can fend for ourselves?
Boys! Do you want to have a threesome with us?
How many more children must die in Satan's name?
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
It is not too late. Join me in this fight. Incinerate these demons and send them back to hell.
Good riddance.
I was even going to do a review about this film. You know, a couple of people told me about it. I watched it last night. My eyes rolled back in my head so hard, I almost knocked myself out on multiple occasions. So this just winds up on the Schlock Files because I was so put off by this film, and a movie hasn't pissed me off this bad in a long, long time. So let's go back to the beginning. This movie is directed by Marc Meyers, who did that like Jeffrey Dahmer film. I haven't seen it, so I can't really, hold him to or compare We Summon the Darkness to anything else he did. But I could tell you that this movie tried to be Green Room so fucking hard and failed on every attempt. This is, it's a hard R because of language. They use the F word a lot. And they also have a couple of, gory images, I guess. This didn't have the biggest budget, and that's fine. This is a Saban film. This Saban, like Power Rangers Saban. This felt like early 90s Power Rangers level acting. It doesn't have the biggest names in it, to be fair, but it's headlined by Alexandria Daddario, who is in huge movies. Like, she was in Baywatch, she was in the Percy Jackson series, True Detective. She has done good work, but man, I feel like she's just getting pigeonholed into eye candy and like the hot girl. So this was just like her indictment of that, because she is kind of dressed scantily, but it's for a purpose. And because, not everything is what it seems to be in We Summon the Darkness. But just her performance of just absolutely batshit crazy, unhinged, where she's just making this face the entire time. Full starts across the board. What's this pile about? It's about these 3 friends. You have Alexis, who is played by, funny Alexandria Daddario. She was so bored with this film that she wouldn't even let them change her name, really. Then you have Val, played by Maddie Hassett. You have Amy Forsyth, Beverly. They are these 3 seemingly, young, attractive rocker chicks, and they're set in the 80s. They're going to go check out this band that's playing in this little hodunk town. And they meet up with a bunch of stoner dudes from a van. Kean Johnson plays Mark. Then you have Logan Miller that plays Kovacs. And you have Austin Swift as the funny fat friend Ivan. You also have, and here's I guess where most of the money went, Johnny Knoxville, of all people. I love Johnny Knoxville as a kid in Jackass, but everything he's done in movie, acting wise, I have just not enjoyed. And this is no different. He plays the antagonist, spoiler alert, Reverend Johnny Henry Butler. Again, they didn't even give Johnny Knoxville a different name. His name's John in this. This movie isn't even hilariously bad. I can't laugh at it because it was just so boring and so dull. So I'm just gonna get into spoilers. What this movie's about. This trio of chicks meet up with these trio of dudes. And they go to the rock concert, and then they go back to the house, and the guys are just like, oh, we're going to continue the party and probably get lucky. And then, you know, the big reveal happens, and no, the girls aren't Satan worshiping, you know, Aussie headbangers, but they're actually like religious, you know, right-wing zealots. And so they poison the drink, and so there's like a series of murders that are going on. It's kind of given to us that it could be the guys that are the killers, but Alex takes them back to her dad's house, which is this big kind of compound out in the middle of nowhere where, you know, of course no one's going to hear the screams, the ensuing screams. They unveil that they're evil, you know, God-worshipping, brainwashed chicks by like a game. They start playing like Never Ever Have I Ever or whatever around the campfire, and that's how they kind of let them know that that the guys are in for, you know, not the night that they were bargaining for. Ooh, this big plot twist in this dumbass film, and it's just so cliche. Like, of course they do it with like some kind of a party game, right? Like, of course they drug the dudes, and they wind up murdering the friend. This is like Red State, but just done. It's like if Red State and Green Room just had this like horrible unholy union, and it was just awful. And Red State's not even that great. Like, I enjoy Red State from Kevin Smith, indictment of this like small-minded, you know, creepy hillbilly Trump supporting mentality, but you know, it lands with kind of a thump. And this lands with just a bull in a china shop, because it's just so ham-fisted and heavy-handed, and everyone's overacting. It's like watching Jim Carrey in Liar Liar, but sucking out all the, you know, the talent. And that's what everyone is doing. Everyone is constantly like, like yelling and making dumb faces. You know, someone gets stabbed in the neck, and you're just like, God, at least they aren't talking anymore, because everyone is just mailing it in the entire time. I don't mean to be so mean, but I mean, it's just awful. There's just no joy to be had in We Summon the Darkness. Of course, things go wrong. Like some of the surviving guys escape, and they hold themselves up like a pantry, and they start like making weapons, and then the girls like start like trying to make him come out or kill him in there with like bug spray and stuff, which is kind of cool, I guess. But then it's so cliche, because like one of the three girls defect, and she finds out the entire plot in the shed, like where she finds out that Johnny Knoxville isn't this like wonderful preacher, and these girls aren't getting brainwashed for a good reason. That's not like a good, you know, church youth group, and they're trying to frame all these murders that are happening in different like cities and chapters of this Johnny Knoxville cult, which right there, that's everything that you need to know about this film. Johnny Knoxville like is not that charismatic to make a bunch of young girls start a cult, but this particular one has his own daughter, Alex, and she's just bumbling everything up. Everyone's screwing stuff up the entire time. There's some blood. One that defects and tries to help the other guys escape has this like weed whacker, but it's like a branch trimmer. It's so like trying to be Sam Raimi Evil Dead. They're like, we can't do a chainsaw because we've seen that a million times, so let's do this like weed whacker, and it doesn't even get used. Like, it doesn't even like that, like someone gets cut on the leg with it. Like, they don't go all the way. Even the new Evil Dead iteration, where it's just like you see like the chainsaw to the face and doppelganger, and it's just so over the top gory, and that's what's kind of fun. You know, there's none of that. It's all half measures. There's nothing. There's like literally nothing. There is a sheriff character that is just so unbelievably stupid. It sets it up with the soon-to-be ex-stepmom of Alex, like, comes home for a pit stop to pick up her passport and her cocaine, so then she could, like, leave the father or whatever, and she winds up discovering one of the bodies, and so Alex, like, knifes her in the stomach. Not even, like, it doesn't even look like a bad wound in comparison to the people that like won't die from their wounds. Like, some people fall out of windows and get up, you know, like crack their head open and get up for one last scare. There is someone's head that gets caught on fire, and then they just disappear from the movie. We don't even know if they're dead or not. There's this other character that gets like his artery sliced open on his arm and then shot, and then he's still around. And then another character gets shot and then just like goes to a convenience store later, and it doesn't even look like he's in any dire like straights at all. But the stepmom, like I said, I digress. The stepmom goes down after one quick poke to the abdomen, and she's down for the count. So this sloppy looking sheriff, and I don't want to be mean, you know, I don't want to point out someone's looks or whatever, but this guy looks like they just picked him up from the bus stop. Like, he is wearing a Party City, like, adult, like, movie looking sheriff's costume that they picked up for like $15 on the clearance rack, and this giant 10-gallon hat, all stupid and sloppily, and like pulling his pants up. Like, it's so bizarre. And they added this character, or how they added this character, because, like, okay, you know, in this type of movie, the cops show up or whatever, and, you know, they either kill him off, or you know, something happens in a clever way in a better movie. This is a far lesser movie than what you would expect, because they just picked the weirdest choice for the sheriff character, and they just, like, you know, just to get him out of the movie pretty quick. It's just awful acting, just atrocious. Please skip We Summon the Darkness. Apologize for wasting your time, but at least you've wasted your time for about, you know, 10-15 minutes watching my indictment of this pile of shit, rather than you having to go spend 90 minutes watching this film. So sorry, Marc Meyers. I hope you come up with something good next time. This ain't it, though. So thanks for watching the Schlock Files. We will see you next time, and you're welcome for saving you some hard-earned time in this apocalypse.